Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a very important video where we are going to discuss the 500 plus manual and automation testing interview questions and answers from scratch to till the advanced level. So please don't skip the video. And also guys, if you need this PDF, I have given a link in the description and also in the comment section. Please do check out. Okay, so it's really helpful for interview. Similarly, like this document, it contains n number of multiple documents which are really helpful in cracking full stack QA or SDET automation testing roles. So please do check out and explore more. Okay, so let's get started. Why do you want, sir? Guys, I will just read out the questions. You can explore for the answers. The answers are already derived. Okay, so why do you want to pursue career in the field of software testing is the first question. And the next question goes like, please explain your nature, habits or likes that you think you are the right candidate for the testing. Why should we test? What do you mean by testing? What are the features you check before you purchase the mobile? What do you mean by quality? What do you mean by performance? Can you write possible test cases for pencil? What do you test in one-time password application creation of application? What are the essentials of software testing? What is required for a tester to know before testing the software applications? What are desktop applications? How to test desktop applications? What are web-based applications? How to test web-based applications? What are anomalies in software? What are the types of defects in software applications? How many different ways you can test the software? What is expected from the testing team on testing a software application? What is unit testing? What is sanity testing? What is smoke testing? What is exploratory testing? What is integration testing? What is system testing? What is interface testing? What is regression testing? What is alpha testing? What is beta testing? What is a performance testing? What is load testing? What is stress testing? What is security testing? What is a static testing? What is a dynamic testing? What is compatibility testing? What is reliability testing? What is a compliance testing? What is localization testing? What is a test case? What columns are present in test case template? What columns are important in the test case? Okay, and then what test case management tool have you used? What is a use case? Explain the main elements of a use case. What is a test scenario? What is a positive test case? What is a negative test case? What is a behavior driven testing? And what is application acceptance testing? What is vulnerability testing? What is black box testing? What is white box testing? What is gray box testing? What are the different levels of testing? Explain integration testing of modules in real life with an example. What is top-down approach? What is stub in top-down approach of integration testing? What is bottom-up approach? What is a driver in bottom-up approach of the integration testing? What is GUI or UI testing? What is a functional testing? What is a non-functional testing? What is requirement traceability matrix? What is defect traceability matrix? What are the techniques used in test design? Give example of equivalence class partitioning and similarly give example for boundary value analysis. Give an example for decision table. Can you explain the defect lifecycle in detail? Okay. What is a defect severity? What is a defect priority? What's the difference between quality assurance and quality control? What is the difference between inspection and audit? What is quality assessment measurement? What is test management measurement? What is test maturity model? How is level of software development organizations decided? What is the process of capability measurement? What is the difference between corrective actions and preventive actions? What is software testing lifecycle? What is requirement specification document? What documents will you refer to understand about features in the software? What is a virus? How antivirus program works? Give few examples of sensitive information can be shared across the network. What is an IDE and their use? List the names of IDE made of Java. Give some examples of use of Java applets used in your application. What is required to run Java applet in a browser? Can you explain methods used in applet lifecycle? What is JRE? What is JVM? Why do we need JDK? How JRE, JVM and JDK are related? List the types of class loaders in Java. What is the difference between JRE and JVM? What is the difference between interpreter and compiler? What does exe stands for? Give some examples of executable in Windows. Give name of 4 Java framework. Can you explain the Hibernate framework? A type of testing in order to expose defects in the interfaces and in the interaction between integrated component list is. Okay, and then similarly identify the type of testing wherein we subject the target of the test to varying the workloads to measure and evaluate the performance behavior and the ability of the target and the test to continue to function properly under these different workloads. Okay, what type of testing it is? What do you ask for in order to purchase a computer? Again, it's a testing question, guys. Okay, what is the difference between regression and retesting? What is the difference between debugging and unit testing? What are unit testing techniques? How do you decide which test cases to consider for regression testing? What is the difference between integration testing and system testing? What are the various contents of a test plan? Do you know exploratory testing? What is prototyping and what are the various types? What are SDLC phases? List some of the SDLC models used in software development. What kinds of reviews are conducted during SDLC phase? What is the role of metrics in testing? What are key challenges while testing the software application? Explain your views about quality. What is the advantage of using any bug tracking tool? Explain about website usability testing. What are defect attributes? What is a pesticide paradox? Explain the V model. What is the difference between web application and client server application? What is localization testing? What is the difference between black box testing and white box testing? What is the difference between authentication and authorization? Give an example. Other than functionality, what else you should test in a web application? How do you know that testing is enough? How will you test the reports? What is a database? Which database you are aware of? Can you name some of the relational database? Can you name some of NoSQL database? Can you name some of the cloud database? Can you name some of the distributed database? Can you name some of the object-oriented database? Can you name some of the graph database? What is a database testing? What do you mean by cookies? How do you test cookies? What are stored procedures? How many types of joins are there in SQL? What are DML and DDL commands? Give example. What is normalization? What is primary key and foreign key? What is RDBMS? What is the difference between delete and truncate? What design documents you receive from the product manager or project manager? What are the documents you created in design phase? What challenges you have faced in testing so far? Realizing you won't be able to test everything, how do you decide what to test first? What is SQA? What are the contents of software defect report? What is a Big Bang type of testing? What is a traceability matrix and coverage matrix? What is UAT and alpha and beta testing? Can you list the OOPS features? What is hotfix? Where exit and entry criteria are written in the test plan? What are the different scenarios for verifying the email address? What is the query for update table? If there is a mistake in a company logo, what is the priority and severity justify your answer? What is A or B testing? What is test driven development or TDD? Explain error guessing with an example. In bug life cycle, who opens the bug? What is compatibility, multi-platform and configuration testing? What are session and cookies and what is the difference between them? What is a mutation testing? What's the difference between ad hoc and exploratory testing? Okay, so difference between HTTP and HTTPS, explain how the data is secured in HTTPS. Have you heard of agile methodology? Explain. What is Scrum? What is a sprint? What is Epic? What is a product backlog? What is burn down report? Have you used any configuration management tool? Do we always need to do regression after retesting? What is a web server? Which web servers do you know? What is inter-system testing? Have you done that? What is a build? What is the release? What is production server? What is a recovery testing? What are the properties of a good requirement documents? What is accessibility testing? How can you make software ready for accessibility? What is Jenkins? What is an insurance? What are some of the types of insurance? How many types of banking have you heard of? What is retail banking? What is net banking? Name some digital platform. What entities are present in healthcare domain? What are the 7 layers of OSI model in network? What do you mean by protocol? What are the various types of e-commerce site? What are system integration test types? Name some of the few of the system integration testing tools. What is defect cascading? Give some test management tools you are aware of. Okay. What are Jenkins file? Where are Jenkins files stored? Have you heard about Git? Have you worked on SQL query and what have you done? Explain the REST API term. What are tools used in software industry for API testing? How to upload data in Jenkins? Have you heard about Git? Have you worked on SQL query? What have you done? What is primary key? Please explain. If there are some same multiple entry in the table, how to find unique element in the table? How to get third highest salary from employee table? How to find particular date of joining of employee from employees table? Date is in number format, then how to change it into the date format? What is end-to-end testing? Arrange the following testing types in sequence in which we test any application. Okay, functional, smoke, integration, system, sanity, retesting, regression. List the name of HTTP methods for RESTful services. What are status codes in HTTP? Have you used SOAP UI? Have you used Postman? Have you used Rest Assured? What is installation testing? Have you come across any severe bugs in your application and did you contribute so that it gets resolved? What is application server? Give example. If any bug is reproducible at client side in production environment, not in the test environment, what are the different possibilities that this scenario occurs? If any bug is reproducible only on testing server and not on development server, how you make sure that the developer fixes the bug? What is data migration testing? What are the different approaches followed in data migration? What are broken links? What is a ETL testing or data warehouse testing? What is a closure report? Write test cases on online software product for free, available for free. Okay, write test cases on company web portal. Okay, write test cases on a gaming software. And similarly, write test cases on image editing software. Write test cases on an online file format conversion. What is a CAPTCHA? Where did you see the CAPTCHA? Explain the functionality of CAPTCHA. Why all websites visited want to have your consent to use the cookies. Give example of statement coverage. Give examples of decision coverage. Give example of branch coverage. What is testing? What is test driven testing? What is behavior driven testing? What is latent defect? What is fault masking? Explain the difference between latent and masked defects. Explain what is linear code sequence and jump. What is first testing and when it is used. Okay guys, I'll stop here. I'll continue in the next session. So let's meet in the next session. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you need this PDF, I have given a link in the description and also in the comment section. Please do check out. Okay, let's see in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. All the best for your upcoming interview.